Hello and welcome to Getting Your Money's Worth, the show that focuses on value. I'm Judith West, and our guest today is Christina Eckert, author of, and you're going to like this, Winning Against The Wackos in Your Life. I have to say, I can't imagine anybody walking by and not buying this book. What a title, Winning Against The Wackos in Your Life. Hi, Christina. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have to start someplace, so let's just start right at the beginning. What's a wacko?
Well, a wacko is somebody who will say or do something wrong, and they don't feel bad about it at all. They go to sleep at night, they get up the next morning, and they're out looking to get their drug, which is their next victim.
Their next victim?
Yeah, and the good guy out there is somebody, if they do say or do something wrong, they feel bad about it.
Well, you know, listen, I'm a New Yorker. I mean, I feel like somebody does something bad to me every time I get on the subway. Are they all wackos?
They could be, you know, I mean.
How many wackos are there in the world?
Well, I write the book about 4 different levels of wackos. Level 1 being the least offensive. So what we have to let's get a little better definition. A wacko is not just somebody who does something once in a while, not nice to somebody. Sure.
It's someone who repeatedly has
Absolutely.
that behavior. I mean, is bully a good word to substitute for wacko?
Absolutely, and it's really their drug. They can't survive.
I mean,
they can't survive without.
Yeah, that's their hook.
Exactly.
It's in their DNA.
Exactly, and I refer to them as parasites, and to the good guys in the book as a host. People who wear their heart on their sleeve, and then they're pulling the knife out of their back. So it really is a survival guide for the good guy out there.
Did you write this because you had been wackoized?
I got involved in a business partnership, and her behavior inspired me to write the book.
Her behavior inspired you to write the book?
Yes.
That's a different kind of inspiration than people usually get.
Right. So she asked me to get in a business relationship with her, and I knew she was a little bit unhinged, and I saw how she treated other people, but I made the assumption that because I didn't have that particular relationship with her, that she wouldn't treat me that way. And as I talk about in my book, never assume that if people are treating other people badly, that you're going to be the exception to the rule.
So one kind of wacko is if you see that people are not nice to other people, don't think that, well, she's going to treat, I'm different. I'm a good friend.
Exactly. Never assume that.
I'm her business partner. She's going to treat me differently.
Or I'm the best friend that this person has ever had. They wouldn't dare treat me like that, because eventually, in the end, you will feel like you've been hit on the head with a 2x4.
Well, okay. So wackos are people who have a habit. Their personality is not being nice to people. What do you do? Just cut those folks out of your life?
Well, I think that one of the biggest problems that the good guys have out there is that we have a tendency to jump into relationships without really paying attention to what's right in front of us. We just dive right in because our heart is open, and we just want to get along with everybody, and we want people to like us.
Avoid conflict.
Sure, and really one of the most important survival guides is when you meet somebody new. Watch, look, and listen. Pay attention to what they're doing.
What do you want? You watch for what, their behavior traits?
Listen to what they say. Listen to how they talk about other people. Watch how they treat other people, because what you see is what you get. And once again, you'll never be the exception to the rule.
The way it starts is the way it finishes.
Exactly. How it begins is how it ends.
How it begins is how it ends. But Christina, what do you do if you have a wacko in your family?
Well, and that was something that we talked about with the holidays.
Yeah, how do you handle
have a wacko in your family, the best survival tip that I can...
most of us think I think most of us with have families think we do.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Especially during the holiday times, the best thing that you can do for your own self-preservation is you don't want to talk to them about anything personal, because everything you say can and will be used against you.
Will be used against you.
It will.
Right.
So when you get around wacko family members, just keep your sentences short and sweet. Keep your conversation light. Don't talk about anything personal. And don't get into long, lengthy conversations with these people, or all of a sudden you're the fly in the spider's web.
Yeah, because after all, I mean, you may be able to pick your friends. They say you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
You talk about you talk about wearing your heart on your sleeve and looking out for it. You know, what do you want us to toughen up?
No, I think that if you are that type of person, which I know I am, I always wear my heart on my sleeve. But it's a survival guide to how to protect yourself from being getting into nasty situations with these mean type people.
Well, give us a few examples. I know your book is full of. In fact, you write in your book about levels of wackoism.
Sure. Right.
I mean, it sounds a little crazy, but it sounds a little wacky, but probably accurate. So you start out with a level 1 wacko. What is that?
Sure.
Just a minor infractions or something? What's a level 1
somebody
wacko?
Who's a level 1 is somebody who is never wrong, and if they do something wrong, in 99% of the cases, they will figure out a way to blame it on somebody else and get away with it.
Sounds like somebody I know.
That's one of the characteristics of a 1. A characteristic of a number 2 is somebody who not only do they never do anything wrong, they never do anything wrong, but they also know everything as well.
So I know it all, and
yes.
and I'm never wrong.
Right.
It kind of goes together.
Yes, very annoying.
Very annoying.
And then
right.
These are also people that as I refer to, they suffer from the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde syndrome. These are the people that you're sitting there having dinner with them, and because they're very paranoid people, they take things that you say the wrong way a lot of the time because they're not coming from where you're coming from, and you'll be having a nice lunch and then all of a sudden they turn into Mr. Hyde, and then you tell them, oh, I didn't mean it that way, and then they go back to Dr. Jekyll.
Well, yeah. I mean, I always thought that. I call it thin skin. I didn't think of it as being whack. I just thought, well, it's somebody that's got maybe a poor. Does a wacko have a poor self-image?
Excuse me. I would assume. I don't know. I really don't know. And this really is not a. I really didn't get into why they are the way they are, because
right.
I think that in this
You're
day
not a
and
therapist.
age, well, no, of course not. And
yeah.
I think in this day and age, people don't care anymore.
They don't.
People
that's a good
are
point.
just saying, look, enough.
Whatever you are, get over it.
Go see a professional, but
get over it.
Yeah, stay out of my space. And somebody who's a wacko level 3, these are people that you see, they're on the phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If they're not on the telephone, they're on their cell phone, and they're talking about themselves.
Oh, they're black. I mean, it's amazing to me on public transportation, on the bus. People will go on for the whole bus ride. People tend to speak louder on the cell phone, revealing. I mean, my mom would say, don't wash your dirty laundry in public, revealing all these intimate details about their lives.
Right, and that's a 3 is, it's all about drama and trauma. And if it's not in their life, then they create it. Yeah,
right.
it's all about
them.
These are the people that when you start to talk about yourself, their eyes start to glaze over. And even if you talk for 20 minutes, when you stop talking, they can miraculously pick up right where they left off.
And it's all about them.
Right. They're not really listening to anything that you're talking about. They're just, they can't wait for you to stop talking.
Yeah. Well, so that's level 3, so I don't want to interrupt you. And the worst, level 4?
Yeah, these are the people that you really want to trust your instincts with these people. These are people, say you go to a party, and they have a great big smile on their face and they're charming, and when you leave you say to your friend or to whoever you're with, you know what, there's just something about that person. I can't quite put my finger on it, but there's something about that person that's not right. And these are the people that in the end, if you do choose to get into any kind of a relationship with them, in the end, after you've as I say, been hit on the head with the 2x4, you're standing there saying, I knew it. I knew there was something about that person.
Why didn't I trust my gut?
Right, and these are the people that, live right next door to you for 20 years and you find out that they've been hiding somebody in the basement or something,
Something sinister like that.
Right, yes. So.
Have you had a lot of these wacky experiences? Where did you get all this? Where did you get all this knowledge to write this? I
wrote a lot of it based on many wackos that I've had in my life as a result of being a host type personality, and I refer to the good guys as suffering from the Mother Teresa syndrome.
That's you?
Yeah.
Was you?
Or was me.
Right.
And I still do have a big open heart, but when I meet new people now, I don't just jump into relationships. I stand back and I watch and I see, because usually, as I said, what you see is what you get. And so I choose not to get into a lot of relationships with people because they do display a lot of those characteristics.
How do you teach your kids? I mean, kids come into find wackos in their lives.
That's my next
teenagers
book,
are
in
very,
fact, for teenagers.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Teenagers are very cruel, and kids are very cruel to each other. What should kids do?
Well, you know, for example,
I mean, the word bully came from the playground.
Sure. Well, for example, the other day my daughter's friend came home and she was in tears and because one of her friends treated her badly. And I said, well, does she treat other people badly? Yeah. Well, and I said, well, what makes you think you would be the exception to the rule? And
there are no exceptions.
There are no exceptions, and that's what
that's hard to believe.
That's what they need to get. If especially with teenagers, if you know, somebody comes up to them and they are telling personal information that should be kept a secret about friends, then what makes you think they're not going to spill the beans on you?
Yeah, well, exactly. If somebody tells you something, then they're going to reveal about you.
So it's really all about, and I have teenagers now. I've got 2 teenagers, and I'm constantly trying to tell them, watch, look, and listen.
Is there a gender difference in wackos?
I don't think so.
Female.
I really don't. It has not been my experience.
Right.
And also in the book are a lot of experiences of acquaintances that I've had as well. So there doesn't seem to be any difference.
I guess you have to sum it up by saying, be wary before you jump into a relationship.
Exactly. I mean, and if you are a good guy, that's great. That's wonderful. Continue to be, but also learn some self-preservation
and also some caution and some caution.
Exactly, because the good guys out there, they want an ebb and a flow. They want to be in relationships where it's give and take, not just all take.
Yeah. Well, you know, this is being filmed in New York, and I live in New York. A lot of people think that New York is full of wackos. You think we have a monopoly?
As I say in my book, every moment of every day, thousands of wackos are
all over the place. Okay. Thanks for being on the show. Christina Eckert, Winning Against the Wackos in your life. How to spot them and stay away from them. You're watching Getting Your Money's Worth. I'm Judith West. Our guest was Christina Eckert. Thank you for watching.